Okay, this is Vern. We're going to go do a video tutorial on how to use Sermon.net and Adobe Flash Media Encoder. First of all, what we want to do is go down here to the bottom in the tray and click on Adobe Flash Media Encoder icon right here. So we're going to click on that, and this is going to open up. On the left side here, on this side right here, is the video side. So let's talk about this. These settings should always remain the same. I'm going to make a image, a picture of this, what you're looking at here, and put it on the desktop so we can use it for a reference so you can look at it and compare them if something goes wrong. But basically everything on this side is going to remain the same. Up here under presets is custom. We're using the Dazzle 100. The format is H.264. Our frame rate is 30. The input size is 720 by 480. Our bit rate is 800. Our output size is 720 by 480. This right here is always the same as this. Over here, our microphone is the microphone input on the computer tower. The format is AAC. We always want AAC. If you ever see by some chance MP3 or anything else other than AAC, change it to AAC. AAC is what allows the mobile devices such as tablets and phones to be able to connect and see and hear the video and audio. Channel is mono. Sample bit rate is 44100, and the bit rate kilobytes is 96. This next line is the volume line. We've been playing with it, and we found that about 3/4 of the way, 80% there, is where it works the best. So I haven't been changing this here on this side. Over here on this side here, on the output side, these settings we will change. We're going to change the FMS URL. We're going to change the stream. We're not going to do anything with this line right here. The backup URL remains blank. We're not going to do anything with this line right here. This line here, we are going to edit this. This is the first thing that we edit, and everything below this we don't do anything with. I have a folder over here on the left. I have a folder right here called Sermon.net that we are archiving all of our video to on the computer. So when you go to here and you click on browse, which you really don't need to click on browse, but I'm just showing you where this goes. Here we have the folder Sermon.net, and we have the title that I've already put in there. So we can close that. If we click on this is the easy way to do it. Click on this line right here, use your arrow keys and scroll all the way to the right and then back up. I'm using my left arrow key, and I'm just going back, and I would get over to here, and so this Sunday, or actually tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd, I would just change this 22 to a 23, and then I would just skip over here, and depending on the title, if Pastor was doing a message on David versus Goliath, I would title that in here. I would just back out test, not the /, leave the / alone, but I would back out test, which is what I put in there, and I would put in David versus Goliath. So the test and the date is the only thing that we're going to edit in here, and this is a simple way, a shortcut, without going to this browse button here and doing all that other stuff. So when you do this, you just simply edit it, and then you leave that alone. Then we go over here up on the left hand side, and we see an icon called Studio. This is our online studio, which is where we actually send the video to be distributed out into the world. So double click on this. This is going to open up a browser, brings up our username and password. The username is Dawn's email. It is Dawn, D-A-W-N, at 4bbc.org. The username is the same as the username for the logon on this computer, the one that you've been using all along. It's invitation, capital I, lowercase n, lowercase v, lowercase I, lowercase t, lowercase a, lowercase t, and then the number 1 and lowercase o and lowercase n. So as invitation with a capital I, and the last I is a 1, which is the one that we've been using all along, invitation. We click login. Do not click save passwords for anything on this computer. Okay? Alright, so here is our website where we actually send up our video. So what we do here, first of all, is we go right here to create a new episode, and we're going to create a new episode, and we're just simply going to call this test, T-E-S-T. I'm going to call it test. And I'll tell you what, let's just call it test number 7 for completion, because this really completes what we're doing here. Then you say add. This is going to open up the settings, and again we say no, we don't want no autocomplete here. Okay, so in here, this first box, we're not going to do anything in here. You don't have to do anything in here. This line right here where it says playlist this episode is assigned to. Click on this. This drops down. Go over here to where you have the universal no sign. If you hover over it, it says add. Click that, and then a check mark shows up, and so we're good there. In a few places, there is a place where you need to click save. Most of these are on auto save. If we come here and we click details, this shows our title, which we typed in for the new episode test, and we can actually edit it here if we need to. For instance, if you do not know the name of the message and you simply want to use the date, which is what I would do in the media encoder, instead of putting test and then the date, or test 7 and then the date like I showed you in the media encoder, then you can just simply use the date, and then you could put the date in here also. So when we add a new episode, we could just simply put the date in there. So we'd have the date here and we'd have the date here. And then later we can come back and we can change this when we find out what the name of it is. Alright, nothing else down in here is necessary. We're not doing anything else down in here. If we scroll down, we go to categories. Under categories, we see here we have the speaker. So I already have Dr. Yunizi in there. And if we have a new speaker that's never been here, like we're going to have Dr. Barber here in a few days, we can come over here and we could click edit, and we could add Dr. Barber to it. Or we could highlight one of these and we could click delete, and we could delete some of these names. Obviously, Pastor Yunizi will always stay in here, so we click Dr. Yunizi. So just for instance, the series, if he's doing a series, we can do a series. So we just came out of a missions conference, so I was using this. If we have a series name, we can add that, and we can use that repeatedly, and then later we can delete it. If it's not a series, just leave it blank. If we know the scripture, we can drop this down, and this gives us all of our scripture right in here. And we can just simply check the book of the Bible. In here, you use your keyboard, and you can put in your chapter and your verses, and you can say it's chapter 2, verses 8 through 12. And notice there is a save button over here on the right, so we click save. Up top here, you'll notice a little thing up here. So I'm going to go back and click save. Look up top here in the top right, and when I click save, that highlights up there. That shows us that we're saving. Okay, so that's saved. The next thing that we're going to do, and I wish they would reorder this, but they haven't. There's nothing in statistics or schedule that we need to do. Now we're going to drop all the way down to the bottom, down here to artwork. We're going to click on artwork. Then we're going to click on Art Manager, and then this pops up. We're going to click on Custom Artwork, and then something familiar pops up. We see this right here. This is actually a link. So we click on our logo, and then that puts our logo, and so that's going to show up on our website now, along with this video link that's going to be on there. Now we're going to go back up about the middle here to live broadcast, and this is where the real work here begins as far as making it work online. So we click on this, and this drops down. There's only two settings that we're going to change in this. We're going to click right here where it says live broadcast. We're going to turn it on. And then over here where it says publish to new episode, we're going to turn that on. Do not turn auto publish on. If you turn auto publish on when the service is over, then what will happen is that when we click stop, then it will automatically publish the entire service online. That is not what we want. We actually go in after the service is done and we edit the video to only include the message. We don't put everything else online. There's nothing else in here that you need to deal with. Okay, nothing at all. Nothing else in this area right here. Okay, so now we're going to just scroll down a little bit. Now we have the server and we have the stream. We're going to use these two lines to fill in the two lines on the media encoder that I just told you about a little bit ago. So I'm going to right click on this, or I'm sorry, I'm going to left click on it once. Now I'm going to right click and I'm going to say copy. Then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to grab a hold of my media encoder and I'm going to open that back up. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to highlight this entire line and I'm going to backspace so I can see that this is completely empty. Okay, please do not highlight it and then right click on top of the highlight and say paste. The reason that I don't want you to do that is that it is possible for you to miss a letter, a single symbol. If one symbol stays in there and then we paste and we accidentally missed highlighting a symbol and then we paste in there, the whole command line is wrong and it's not going to work. So now I can see that this is completely empty. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say paste. Now I know that the brand new command line is in there and there was nothing else in there at all. I didn't accidentally leave something in there not highlighted at all. Now I'm going to come over here to the right of it. I'm going to left click. I'm going to come back here on the stream. I'm going to left click and then I'm going to right click, copy, go back to my media encoder. Now what you want to be careful is don't accidentally go down here, okay? You want to come up here and again you're going to just go right across. I'm going to delete. Now I know I have a clean line. I'm going to right click and say paste. Alright, so now I have my publishing URL, I have my stream, I have my archive for my computer. Now I'm ready to publish. So now I'm going to say connect and then over here I'm going to say start. Down here on the bottom I'm going to say start. Alright, over here on the left we see that the stream has started. We see the video and the audio encoder is started. Over here we actually see some bit rates and duration starting to be generated. Now up here, this is the tab for what we're looking at now, the encoding log. Over here is the encoding option, so you can go back here if you want, or you can stay there, whichever you want to do. Up here we see that it's encoding. Now at this point, you're going to go to the computer that's setting to our left, and you're going to go to 4bbc.org, which is something that I cannot show. Actually, I can show you on this computer, can't I? So I'm going to pretend that this is the computer setting to our left. So I'm going to go to 4bbc.org. So www.4bbc.org. I'm going to go there. And it comes up. Now on our other computer we automatically have it set so it defaults to this page right here that comes up. Okay. Now for some reason here I am not seeing my test. So what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. So this might be a good life's lesson for everybody out there. Let me go back here. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go back here. I need to see what did I do wrong. That's assigned. Live broadcast. Oh, I didn't save it. I see there's a save button here and I never clicked that save button. So it's actually archiving to our computer, but it's not pushing it out online. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to click Nope, it's not gonna let me do it, is it? There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to click the Save button. Again, we see up here, up in this top right corner, there's a live. It says Save. I'm going to click Save. All right. So now it's already here. So now I'm going to go back to this right here. I'm going to click Connect and Start. Now it's going to start all over again. All right. So when I did that, we actually stopped it and we started it. Now we're actually going to have two videos in there. So now I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to refresh this. And if I did everything right, it's going to show up. There it is. Okay, Dr. Sayunizi, Judges 12 or 2 verses 8 through 12. If I click here, it's going to show. Uh-oh, now we got a double echo in here, don't we? All right, so now we know that it's working. So now if I go back to my sermon studio, everything is working fine. I'm going to go down here to my Flash Media Encoder. So let's say that I'm done. You know, we're done at the end of the service. I click Stop, and it's stopping. I click Disconnect, and at this point, the only thing you have to do is shut the monitors off. Just close out everything and shut the monitors off. You can leave this just like this. You don't do anything else beyond this, okay? I mean, it's not going to hurt if you close any of this out. It's not going to hurt any of that, okay? But everything is done. So after that, then Dawn, down in the office the next day, she's going to get into this and she's going to edit the video and she's going to publish it. It takes a little bit for it to populate. Now, because we've done such a short video, we see that they're here. See, this is the first one we did. Let's see which one's the first one. This is the first one we did right here, and this is the second one we did. So Dawn, typically there's only one here. So Dawn will get in, and what she's going to do, if I click on this, the video shows up. And we can actually click on this, which I'm not going to do because we're going to have sound coming out of it again. And she's going to click on this, and she's going to move this timeline forward to the appropriate time. And then she's going to click Set the Start Time, and then she's going to move it to the end. And she's going to click Set Stop Time, and then she's going to publish this online, which will put it in our archives on our web page. So that's how you do it. Please watch this. Come in and play with this. I'll be glad to work with somebody. If you need me to meet you here on an off time or meet you here early before the church services, I'll be glad to do that. Just let me know. It is going to take you a little bit of practice, but this is really good stuff here. So God bless, and happy video streaming. Signing off, Brother Vern. Bye-bye.